Good morning.
All you Tea Party folks. Not one black person said, oh. How come black people don't participate in? You know, I was having a conversation with, this is not what the subject is about, I don't think. But I was having a conversation with a friend of mine last night. And I said, I was looking at this documentary and they were talking about how white people went to Australia and took over Australia, right? They took it away from the people of color.
They sent the prisoners.
What, what?
The English sent their prisoners to Australia, that's how they colonized it.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And then the white folks made it really nice and, you know, now everybody want to go there. So I'm thinking, how come white people are the only people who seem to be progressive? You know, like they go and take over a place and make it nice. And then everybody else want to follow them. And I wonder, why is that? I noticed that. And so I asked my friend, why is it that white people are taking over everywhere? They took the land from the Indian, and now we have a nice place to live. They took Australia, now we all want to go there, and everybody want to emulate the white people. And he said, well, the Chinese or the Asian folks, who live downtown LA? Are those Chinese people?
Korean.
Chinatown folks. What are they?
No, the Koreans.
Yeah, you know how they,
There's Japanese too.
it's so mixed up.
Made Hawaii nice.
They made Hawaii nice, huh?
Yeah, I don't. I think
Did they do that without the help of the white man? No?
No, probably not. But
No, probably not. And I'm looking at South Africa. You know how they ran the white folks out of South Africa? And now South Africa is going downhill. It's not like they're taking it and making it better. They're not even improving upon it. So I need to know real fast why white people can do it better than any other race.
That's not true.
That's not true?
No.
Name me a place where people of color did it.
Japan.
Japan.
Throughout history.
Huh?
Did you say Japan?
Yes.
Oh, but they taking from us and using our stuff, right?
No, they're more
Don't they own us now?
yeah, China.
China, Japan.
But anyway, I just wonder why white people do it better.
I think it's.
And I was thinking about coming back white in my next life. I hope the reverse don't happen. I come back white and I still be on the wrong side of the fence.
It's just their era right now.
So I'm not imagining this, right?
No, you're right.
And it's okay to say it out loud.
But there's also,
it's the-
Because I'm the only one that seems to be saying it.
I asked that thing about the Martin Luther King parade every year. I said, why is it that it never improves?
I know, it's just a little tiny,
It's
homemade South Central parade. That is so true. What's up with that? This was like could have been a great country built by the Indians, and they could have created technology and moved it forward, but they didn't. They were too busy smoking the peace pipe.
We're supposed to progress,
Uh-huh.
and they're still in huts in total darkness.
In Africa?
And, yeah.
Yeah.
And then down the road is lighting and everything else, but they want to stay in this type of.
I am so sick of turning on the TV and seeing these little black folks run around in Africa in all this dust, dancing and singing. Aren't you sick of seeing that?
But it's-
Africa is like a beautiful land. You can really build on it.
It's-
But all they do is run around singing Kumbaya or something in little hut clothes and hut hats. We were talking about how the Mexicans are coming here from Mexico, right? But they're not like coming and creating a great environment. They're bringing Mexico.
Yeah.
If you go over there in East LA, wherever they live, South Central, it looked like Mexico. Pigs running around, cows, and clothes hanging out on the fence, and it's like they're just bringing Mexico
And they're sucking up.
and just sucking the life out of the poor white people.
I think it's the influence of the Christian principles that spread across mostly Europe, and not only the Christian principles. You can see the same thing to some extent with the Jews. The Jews,
Yeah.
the Jews wherever they went when they were dispersed over the
Oh, that's a
world,
good point.
Europe, they also, because to some
But they're still white people, though.
well, I know, but I don't think it's race. I think to the degree that people tried to follow the principles and the Judeo-Christian principles, to that degree that they were
Yeah.
successful.
So do white people know Jesus better than us?
Maybe in times past.
Oh. The sad thing about it, the white man or white people are becoming the most hated people now. It's like all these people of color who are not doing anything are now jealous and hating this white man. And I'm thinking, if the white man stop building, everything gonna be a ghetto. We won't have any innovation.
But that-
Destruction too that he's caused.
But that's all right. The good outweighs the bad.
Why? He's done a lot.
Ain't the right way?
too.
Well, you know, America was built on the back of slavery. Okay,
Right
on
on,
slaves. Okay. It was, I mean.
Right, but
About all you want
I
to.
know, but had not they done that, we wouldn't have it in
How
America.
do you know?
At least they had sense enough to make the black man build it.
Ooh.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry. But
That's ignorance.
they're not building it.
I mean, that was the beginning, but
If
not
they
the
did
end.
so much, they should have never trying to.
But look what happened. As soon as they left Africa, South Africa, the white man is not there to make them build. Now it's falling apart.
Well, it's only falling apart because the Africans are angry and mad about everything.
Well,
It's
this-
their anger that's destroying everything.
It could be the anger too,
It's
but
not
they
that
were,
they're not innovative.
but also they were colonized and
They can
in
get
the way
over
they,
that.
well,
Yeah, they
they
can.
could get over it. It takes
We
time.
can't have any
That just
excuses.
takes time.
Do they have the Bible?
They can-
That's right.
That's the question.
We cannot have any excuses about why these people have messed up like this. We got to really lay it out there so the truth can make us free.
You
So
can't
you-
say that everybody was on a level playing field, Jesse. That's not.
But if
that's not
things
the
are
same.
tough, you become tougher.
Right.
That's one good thing about things being tough. You're supposed to become better from it.
But spiritually, then, the destruction that causes okay, you're saying?
Yeah, you need some
It
discussion.
takes time to
need
overcome
both.
all of the destruction that was.
But you absolutely need both. You need to weave out the bad to bring in the
So
good.
it's okay for the black people now to hate the white people because you need,
It-
going with your logic, I mean.
What do that mean?
I mean, it's okay to
They
hate the
didn't,
white man.
they didn't hate the white man, they gave him a job.
What?
I mean, they didn't hate the black man, they gave him a job.
So if we start developing and innovating, then it's okay to put somebody else down to get where we need,
You're going to always need somebody to work for you.
not slavery wise.
You just treat your slave well.
So don't-
Slave is not a negative thing if done in the right way.
Where?
Oh, we all slaves. We work for one another, we're slaves. Isn't that true? That's right. If we work for one another, we're all slaves. Isn't that true? Doug, you had your hand?
True, no. Slavery, no,
The
it's not
servants of
slavery.
Christ.
Yeah, we are slaves.
No, you have an option whether you
All
want to
sin
work
are
or not.
slaves.
You don't have an option whether you want to be a slave or not.
But we all, even if you don't work, you're still going to be a slave to something. You got to go steal.
Yeah.
You got to go beg. You got to go depend on the government. So you become a
Not slavery.
slave to that.
That's not slavery.
That's not slavery.
No, it's not.
We're a slave to Christ.
Yeah.
That's not slavery. And he's a white man.
You have an option as to whether you want to be.
Okay, I don't want to turn. See, I knew I should have brought this up. Let me get one from the angry black woman. Okay. All right. What do you think about what I'm saying here?
Does it have anything to do with supposedly like
Speak up
a
a little
curse?
bit.
A curse on black people?
Does it have anything to do with the curse on black people? There is a curse on black people, not all, but most of them. But I don't think that has anything to do with it. I just think because they won't live upright, they won't be individuals, they won't do the right thing, that is a curse. But I don't think it has anything like God has like cursed black folks and now they can't function. They're brought it on themselves. Christ has made it possible for all of us to be free and do what we need to do in life. So if there was a curse in the past, it's not there now. He came that all may be free. And it has nothing to do with your color.
Great.
It has nothing to do with your male or female. It's a spiritual thing. So I wouldn't hang on to the curse thing. But you wonder why white people do it better, right?
I do wonder about that.
Yeah. But we need to say it out loud, not just wonder. I remember when Gary, Indiana was predominantly white, and it was so pretty. flowers and grass and stores and just innovative. The white man left, and overnight it turned into a ghetto. Just like that. There was nobody took over, even though they elected a black mayor, everything became black. Nobody took over and made the city wonderful or kept it going, you know. It just went downhill. And then all the good black folks left Gary and went out to the suburb with the white folks.
Detroit.
And I'm thinking, how come we can't take it and make it nice? You know, why can't we just build on what's already there? It's not like we had to come up with any new ideas. But I want to see people of color do something, you know, because they're attacking the white man, and if the white man give up, then we got to all be in the ghetto. And I've learned how to live nice by looking at the white folks. The sad thing about it, I think, now that I'm listening to you guys, what people are doing is holding on to the past. You know, they're remembering who did what to whom, and they're holding on to the past. And when you hold on to the past that doesn't even exist except in your mind, you're never going to move forward. Because it's an illusion, it's not even real. And when you hold on to something that's not there, then you suffer. And I think we need to get over all that. We need to get over all that, what happened way back then. It's done, it's over, it's time to move forward. And start doing it right now, because right now is all that we have. There is no future, there is no past. It's just now. And I like to see people of color act like, get over the past. Stop living this lie in your head and start being more innovative. Start building in your communities. You know, getting married, and stop being mad at the white man. It's just ridiculous. It doesn't make sense that grown men cannot create. You know what I mean? You literally have people of color who cannot create. They can't even cut the grass in their own yard, or won't cut it. And it's time out for this. How long are we going to blame the poor white guy? Because I remember when we lived on the plantation, we were restricted, but yet we build. You know, there were black colleges, and there was this going on. It brought out the best in us. Yeah. We didn't just sit back and look across the road at the white man and did nothing. Yeah. You know, we went to, where did we go to? Jerusalem, Israel. And I'll take you in a minute. We went to Israel, right? And you know how they've given everything over to the Palestinians, those folks? And they live right across the road from the Jews. Just step across the road, right? On this side where the Jews live, it's beautiful. Just everything, just innovative, beautiful. And right across the road is ghetto. The city of David sits on a hill, and when you look over at the city is beautiful, could be beautiful, because houses are built in the mountain. But yet it's a ghetto, and all these people doing is sitting over there looking at the Jews being mad. I'm like, why don't you guys take this beautiful area and build it up? You can't find a more beautiful place than the city of David. Anybody ever seen it?
Yeah.
You got to go there and see it.
Yeah.
But they won't do anything. They just sitting there and try to take the Jewish people other stuff that they have. This kind of stuff, it doesn't make sense to me.
But are they?
I can build just like the Jews. So if I got this beautiful area, I'm going to paint the house, I'm going to build, I'm going to educate myself and show the Jews we can do it too. Does that make more sense? There's something wrong with this that needs to be dealt with. And we need to stop making up excuses, living in the past, and talk about what happened way back when Moses was around. Where's Moses now? Where's Moses? I'll rest my case. Over in Israel, the Palestinians don't even want you to pray in the dome thing. You know, they took us in the dome, and they said let's get in a circle and pretend that we were just talking, and we're going to pray so we can. And they were walking their silly selves around, trying to see if we were praying or not, instead of going home and building their community. It's insanity. I like to get away from this thing of helping people so much. I think that's overrated too. Every time you look around now, you got to help somebody. Why come we can't help ourselves, you know? And then help in moderation. Christ said that if you don't eat, you should die. Why don't we let these people die out? Kind of get them out of the way so we can start afresh. When you go downtown Los Angeles, thousands well, hundreds of black men just laying around high doing nothing. And people are constantly helping these folks, doing them no good at all. And then they become a drain on society. We got to go back to the other way. And it should start with us and start here today. I want things to change for the good. Let's have an email. We have an email?
Who's to say that simplicity is not what's best? A lot of the growth that I guess they're saying white people have done is damaging to the environment.
Oh, get a life.
The green person.
Is that the best you can do?
Climate.
The ghetto is the worst thing that can possibly happen to an environment. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
You agree, John?
Yeah.
The ghetto, and there are ghettos everywhere. That's the worst thing that can happen to an environment, is to turn into a ghetto. There are too many ghettos around. Rhonda, am I wrong on this? Because you normally correct me when I'm on people of color. Am I wrong on this one?
Yeah.
I can't hear you, sister.
I mean, you definitely have a good point. There's something there. I don't know, it seems like, I'm trying to see what your point is. You emphasize the races a lot, and I guess
Right.
it's your point to just stir everything up so people will take notice. If they get mad, they'll think about it. Is that your point, really?
I hadn't thought of it that way, but that's a good point.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
It
My
seems
point
like-
is we have people of color who are acting like the Palestinians with the Jews, sitting across the road, looking at the white man and complaining, and want to destroy him and take everything that he has, and when they have a whole world right around them that they can build on. I don't need to take the white man's stuff. I could do it myself. It seemed to me that would be an insult to black people or any race of people, that you got to take your fellow man's stuff rather than doing your own. And it says that your fellow man is better than you. It doesn't seem to be good for the self-esteem when you do that.
I agree.
Am I right?
Yes, I agree with that.
So that's why I'm saying black people and Hispanics and I don't know what the Chinese and those folks are doing. They seem to keep to themselves. You notice that? They build Chinatown and nobody comes out. And I don't know why. But this is like America. It's the greatest country in the world. Every kind of opportunity that you can think of and cannot think of is there. But there's something wrong with the people who are not taking advantage of those opportunities. And I think, it's all the feedback I got today, you need to let the past go and stop hating.
Yes.
Because we all have a great talent within us. We really do have it. But you gotta let it come out. Booker T. Washington had the same problem with black Americans. He said, look, instead of running up north and living in the ghettos, everything you need is right here. And he said to white people, you need to work with black people because as they progress, you're gonna progress too, you know? And so it's time out for blaming and living in the past. Moses is dead. Isaac, Jacob, and all those guys are gone. The Indian stuff been taken. Let's pick up where we are now and move forward. Let's don't accept all this other stuff that's coming from people. When I was growing up, even though the laws were against it, I remember for colors on, there were black colleges everywhere.
That's right.
And they were good schools. And blacks would go there. I read, a friend of mine told me the other day, who was a doctor, he and I grew up together. We went to a little small school. It was about eight buildings at best, and it was first grade to the 12th. When I graduated, there were literally 18 people in my class. But I just found out the other day, and we didn't get any government money. I remember some white people used to come and bring us money for the school. And I remember that because we had to celebrate when they come, you know. We had to go in the auditorium and sing to them and do the butt dance. But my friend told me the other day that that school has the highest SAT score in the whole country, the whole county area around there, than the white schools and the other black schools in the area. They had the highest SAT score than any other school in the area there. And there have been more of the kids who graduated from that school, who've gone on to college, they are now working, they have major positions in government, they are doctors or lawyers, and I didn't even know they were doing this well, but he did a research on it, and they are doing very, very well. And that was because the school was different. We had good teachers who were determined to make us do better. You know, they dressed properly when they came to school. We had to say yes, ma'am, and no, sir. You know, and we had to do homework, or you get a whooping with a switch or a paddle. I remember I didn't want to take they give you those shots things for you, so you don't get a disease when you go to school. And I didn't want to take the shot. I'm in the 4th grade. I didn't want to take it because I couldn't stand the idea of a needle going in my arms. My 4th grade teacher gave me the worst whooping I could get right in front of the class. And I still wouldn't take the shot. Then she called the principal down, and he gave me a whooping in front of the class. Then I took the shot. And it was so easy. I'm thinking, I made a fool out of myself. I could have just gone, taken the shot, and not have the whoopings and be embarrassed. But that's how serious they were about educating us. They didn't say, oh, you know what, the old white man has prevented us from doing it. I didn't hear that from those teachers. They took what they had and made the best out of it. That makes sense?
Yes.
And that's what we need to do now, today. But as Rhonda said, it's in the mind. And the mentality is not there to bring out the best in people. You got all these excuses. It's amazing to me that God saw fit that all of us should end up in America, a free country, where opportunities are everywhere. We can literally do what we want. But then you have, quote unquote, people of color spending a lifetime, generation after generation, mad at the white man and complaining. It just blows. You know, I can imagine that God get up in the morning and tell Jesus to go and get some coffee down at Cafe. Where do you go, Fabian?
Coffee.
Oh, I like the other one.
Coffee.
Coffee bean is better.
Pete's is best.
McDonald's is
And
better.
they go back and
Better and cheaper.
And cheaper.
and they have their coffee and they just look at the people complaining. It's a waste of life. It's a waste of time. And when you die, you're going to see that you wasted time complaining. And if you take everything that the white man has, you're going to run out of stuff after a while. He only has so much. You're supposed to be building and planting and receiving and planting seeds, not just complain about some white man. The real enemy is in your family. If you really want to know racism, get up and try to do something for yourself. Your family will steal from you, lie to you, take all you have, put you down. That's your real problem with your cousins and your brothers and sisters. It ain't the white man. It's time to turn back to God and start living and realize what we have. And that's why we got to wake these people up to let them know you got to turn away from your leaders. You got to turn away from worldly leaders and turn back to God and live your life. Treat people the way you would like to be treated. Work hard. Save your money. Build. Build. Don't just spend a lifetime begging and complaining. It's ridiculous.